Welcome to the second episode of In Conversation With, a Fulbright Canada podcast. I'm Cheryl, a 2020 to 2021 Killam Fellow, and now a social media assistant here with Fulbright Canada. I had a conversation with Randall Harp, a professor of philosophy at the University of Vermont. He is also the 2020 Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation Fellow and Fulbright Canada Joint Chair in Contemporary Public Policy. Public health intervention, for instance, is one example of policy that draws attention to the philosophy of behavioral and social science.
My name is Randall Harp. I am currently an associate professor at the University of Vermont. My main area is in the Department of Philosophy and also Complex Systems program. I primarily work on kind of philosophy of behavioral and social science, so philosophy of action questions, some free will questions, but mainly kind of questions about how it is that the sciences understand human behavior, both individually and collectively. And I also do some work on data and technology ethics.
As an academic, Dr. Harp's research focuses on questions characterizing individual versus collective goals. The latter is derived from one of Dr. Harp's main areas of research, collective action theory. First published by Mancur Olson in 1965, the theory argues that any group of individuals attempting to provide a public good has difficulty doing so efficiently, for two main reasons. One, individuals may be inclined to free ride on the efforts of others in certain groups. So think of when a group member reaps the reward of a completed project without completing their fair share. On the other hand, it is difficult to decide the optimal group size, one that is not so large as to reduce the viability of collaboration toward a shared goal, for instance. And so, Dr. Harp's academic work concerns deciding upon a model of deliberation to achieve such goals. Here's one way to think about it.
As you're talking about kind of the importance of some of these data ethics questions, I mean, even in thinking about some of the issues surrounding COVID, right? I mean, there are questions about how we're using the technology that we all carry with us, our cell phones, for example, to do more targeted public health interventions, right? Like, is it okay to acquire information about where people are moving through their cell phones if they're not consenting to that in order to figure out whether or not certain COVID interventions are effective or not? You know, can we do digital contact tracing using their phones, using people's phones without asking them? Right? These are questions which are important questions, and they're questions which, you get a lot of feedback from people that have a background in the law or a background in medical technology, a background in social science. Right? These are all kind of various perspectives that are useful. And I've had the opportunity to talk with people from all those perspectives so far.
Dr. Harp credits the social capital with his positioning from a spatial perspective. Knowledge spillover occurs within institutions, like his home, the University of Vermont, but it can also occur in the case of cross-cultural exchanges. Though the pandemic has delayed the start of his fellowship, his enthusiasm for travel to join the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation in person is unfazed.
I'm familiar already with Montreal. I live in Burlington, Vermont, which is about 90 minutes, 90 minutes away from Montreal, just south of the border. And so I'm familiar with the city. I love it. I'm looking forward to being able to spend more time up there and interact with people up there more extensively. I look forward to being able to see the summer in Montreal, which is always lovely. I'm hoping that all the public cultural events, festivals are still happening in the city. I understand that people are excited with the summer, and also that Canada's doing so well with its vaccination schedule. Also, that I'm hoping that the city has some of the same feel and vibrancy as it usually does, and probably even more so right now, since people are eager to get back to a little bit of the life that we once knew. And there's so much there's so much cultural energy and life in Montreal that I'm looking forward to being a part of that again. I'm very happy and grateful to be part of this program. It's been wonderful for me so far, and it hasn't even really begun. So I look forward to it continuing. I would encourage anybody who's listening to look into it very seriously.
Back to the point on knowledge transfer. Dr. Harp admitted he first learned about this opportunity through a colleague's recommendation.
It was actually pointed out to me by a colleague of mine who saw that this was an opportunity, and I applied because the focus of the year was actually on technology ethics, in particular with medical technology ethics. And so those were some things that I was interested in working on. I had started some new projects in the area, and the opportunity to work with the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation and also kind of develop my work with the Fulbright Canada Scholars was a fantastic opportunity. So that's why I applied.
And now, to continue the chain of knowledge transfer, here's what he has to pass on to you, should you be interested in applying for a Fulbright Award.
so far, I've participated in a number of activities entirely online. Right? I've done some activities with the Fulbright Canada community. I've also done some activities with the Pierre-Luc Trudeau Foundation community. And so that has been actually quite good and quite useful. I've had the opportunity to discuss a lot of things with people and meet, make some acquaintances, meet some people whose work I'd already known but hadn't really had a chance to talk with, and meet some younger scholars who are working on some very interesting things, including some Killen scholars. So that's been fantastic.
To me, the best philosophical work tries to tell us something about the world, and in doing so, sometimes reveals something about ourselves, too. Whether it be a framework for thinking about democracies or a theory on personhood, philosophy exists to me as a series of questions asked across generations on what constitutes a good life. Technology ethics is gaining prominence in the 21st century. How do we decide on a right or wrong way to use tech surveillance? Does the anticipation of public safety justify the violation of individual privacy? Especially amidst our pandemic, it is important also to consider the way in which collective action could be achieved, ostensibly by encouraging a public spiritedness that can be guaranteed with the trust of individuals. A trust in our government to enact policies for the benefit of the people. A trust in technology providers to safeguard the contact tracing information we surrender, intended for the purpose of public health. My interest in philosophy as an undergraduate student is owed in part to academics like Randall Harp, who have kept age-old deliberations alive by analyzing them, effectively and honestly, through the lens of contemporary issues. My name is Cheryl, and thank you for tuning in to my conversation with Dr. Randall Harp this episode. Thank you for listening in to In Conversation With, a Fulbright Canada podcast. Until next time, take care.